Alright, in this video I'd like to give a brief overview of our meta-ethics unit. Now we've read a lot of different authors and we've heard a lot of different arguments, but what I want to do is I want to bring together the main views and I want to talk about the main issues that they've all been coming at in different ways. So first of all, here's our two teams. We got moral realists and moral anti-realists. And remember what each side is saying. The moral realists think that there are objective moral facts. Another way of saying this is that moral claims are objectively true or false. The moral anti-realists are people who deny that. They say there's no objective moral facts and moral claims are not objectively true or false. Now, what do we mean by objectivity here? Well, I've talked about facts and claims. Let me clarify these terms. A fact is objective if its existence does not depend on what anybody thinks or feels. So, the moon is out there, no matter if you believe in it or not, or no matter if there's any humans to have any opinions about it or not. It's just there. It's objective. A claim is objectively true if and only if the truth maker, the fact that makes it true or else makes its negation true, is an objective fact. So, for example, if I say the moon exists, that claim is objectively true only if and only if, the moon is an objective fact. It's really out there. Or else the moon's really not out there, and that would make my claim objectively false. Okay, so claims are objectively true or false if they correspond to objective facts. That's the idea. And so the moral realists are saying, yes, our moral claims are objectively true or false. They either correspond to objective facts or they don't. And the moral anti-realists are saying, no, there's no objective moral facts out there for our claims to correspond with. Now, moral anti-realism comes in a lot of different flavors. We looked at a couple of those, and actually moral realism comes in a lot of different flavors too, and we haven't really looked at any different versions of that. But I want to talk about a few different versions, actually 4 different versions of anti-realism, in order to help you see the different ways that people might be anti-realist. Okay, so for the first version is what's called non-cognitivism. This might be Hume's view. Hume kind of goes back and forth between being a non-cognitivist and a personal subjectivist. But the idea of the non-cognitivist is this. Moral claims don't have truth values. They are neither true nor false. Why is that? Well, they don't have any truth makers at all. So, for example, when I say stealing is wrong, that's like saying boo stealing. Boo stealing doesn't have a truth value. It's neither true nor false. It just expresses my negative feeling towards stealing. It's like saying yuck, stealing. The non-cognitivist thinks that really that's what all of our moral claims are saying. Yuck, stealing. Boo, stealing. So they're neither true nor false at all. Another view which is similar to that, but importantly different, is personal subjectivism. On this view, there is a truth maker for our moral claims, but it's not objective. It has to do with my personal feelings about stealing. So when I say stealing is wrong, that claim is true if and only if I have a negative feeling towards stealing. And so for those of us who do have a negative feeling towards stealing, it's true that stealing is wrong. It's not objectively true because the truth maker is just my own personal emotions, but it is true in a certain sense. Now, if you feel great about stealing, when you think about stealing, you just think, yes, fantastic, then stealing is wrong is not a true statement for you. In fact, stealing is right would be a true statement for you. So the truth of the moral claim depends on how you feel about it. Cultural relativism is like personal subjectivism except expanded to an entire culture. The truth maker for your moral claim is the feelings or beliefs of the majority of your culture. So on this view, stealing is wrong is true if and only if most of my culture disapproves of stealing. So, is it true that stealing is wrong? Well, it depends on your culture. For many cultures, it is true that stealing is wrong because most of them disapprove of stealing. But maybe there are some cultures, or there could be, where most of the people approve of stealing. And in those cultures, it would be right. So it's not it's not objectively true or false, but it's kind of subjectively true or false depending on the culture. All right, then consider Mackey's view, which is an error theory. This is a form of anti-realism. But Mackey agrees with the realist that if moral claims are true at all, the truth maker for them has got to be an objective moral fact. Okay? So stealing is wrong. It's going to be true if and only if stealing actually is objectively wrong in a way that doesn't depend upon how anybody feels about it. So would Mackey say that stealing is wrong is a true claim? No, because no moral claim is true according to Mackey. There are no objective moral facts, not about stealing, not about anything. So if you say stealing is wrong, that's false. If you say stealing is right, that's false too. There are no objective moral facts. All of our moral claims are false. And that's a different way of spinning this anti-realist view than the first three that we encountered. Now you could contrast all of these four views, anti-realist views, with moral realism. What's the moral realist going to say? The truth maker for a moral claim is an objective moral fact of some kind. So stealing is wrong is going to be true if and only if stealing is really objectively wrong. There's some fact out there that makes it wrong. But here's where the realist parts ways with Mackey. Because the realist thinks that there really are objective facts out there. And most realists think it's an objective fact that stealing is wrong. So it is objectively true for everyone at all times that stealing is wrong. That is an objectively true claim. All right, so we've got four versions of anti-realism. You don't need to know these for the test, but I'm just showing you different ways that people can be anti-realist, and then kind of a general description here of moral realism. And we'll come back and revisit the arguments for and against anti-realism in our next video.